And over the years, I've seen a pattern where people might do a great job saving, but almost no one has a plan for taxes once the paycheck stops. And that's what we're going to fix today. Last year, I had a meeting with a doctor, and she asked me a question. She said, April, what is your favorite financial product for clients? And I thought that was such an interesting question. And I first said, really that answer depends on who I'm meeting with, because what might be appropriate for you when you're 10 years from retirement may not be appropriate for the person who's 30 years, 40 years from retirement, like earlier in their career. But I told her that, by and large, my favorite thing to do with clients is cash flow planning, is tax planning. And she laughed and she said, that's the first time I've ever heard of that, because I don't think that sounds very fun or exciting. But as we get into this today, I hope that you're going to see that there is a big opportunity here for you to have an impact on what your future income looks like. And not just your future income, because we don't want to just think about this income that's going to be coming to us, in retirement, but also what about having access to our money along the way? What about having flexibility and control now? Because the right structure, the right balance between different types of investment accounts, retirement accounts can make a big difference for you, not just in retirement, but also along the way. So let's talk about why this even matters. Well, if you have different sources of income, think like a pension, Social Security, retirement accounts, your income in retirement is probably going to be higher than you think. Because what are we told? We're told that our income is going to be lower in retirement. We're told that we're going to be at a lower tax bracket in retirement. But I can tell you firsthand from working with hundreds of clients, that's not what I see. By and large, my clients are not in lower income tax brackets in retirement. Once you stack up the pension, the Social Security, pension income's taxable, Social Security is mostly taxable, income coming from deferred comp, 403Bs, 401Ks, drop accounts, profit sharing plans, those are all taxable. And when you reach your 70s, you're going to have to start your required minimum distributions. This is when the IRS makes you take money out, whether you need it or you want it. I think I talk about RMDs with clients every week. And I just had a meeting with a client earlier today. She's turning 73 this year. It's the first year she's going to have to start taking her RMD. And it's easy to see how when all of this income stacks on top of each other, how this can push you into higher tax brackets. It can also impact your Medicare premiums. There's something called IRMA, which is basically a Medicare surcharge. So the more money you make, the more you pay for Medicare. So these are all things that we want to be careful of. But the good news is that when you understand the system, when you understand the rules of the game, you can diversify your accounts and create more spendable income in retirement with the same gross income. Because isn't that what we want? When clients tell me, hey, I'm going to be in a lower income bracket when I get to retirement, I think it's because they think their income is going to be lower. And I always ask, is that what you really want? You've reached this stage in your life when you finally have time freedom to go do all the things you want to do. And this is when you want less income coming in. No, that's not what you want. If anything, you want more spendable income in retirement so you can go on those trips, enjoy those hobbies, have the money, have the flexibility, have the freedom to live the life you want. Retirement decisions can feel heavy, especially when you don't want to look back and wish you had done something differently later on. If you'd like help getting clear on your retirement picture, the first step would be to request our financial planning intake form. You can find the link in the description box below. This is the first step to helping us understand where you are, what support that you need help with, and how we can best guide you.